Well, hi everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Thursday morning. We're inching ever so close to the weekend, and it's another chilly morning out there. I've talked about this the last few mornings with all these frost advisories and freeze warning. But again, these areas that are not highlighted, that is because your growing season has come to an end. You've already been below freezing at least once, if not several times over the last week or so. So you will no longer see frost advisories or freeze warnings for the rest of the winter, maybe next spring. Meanwhile, we saw a change from frost advisories to freeze warnings in some of these counties here near north of the Tri-Cities area and the northeast Nebraska as well. Now, these will go until either 9 a.m., 10 a.m., or 11 a.m., depending on where you live, averaging them out at 10 a.m. here in central Nebraska. I think they're 11 a.m. here, and I think they're 9 a.m. here. But anyway, there was a change to a freeze warning because several of these locations have fallen or were expected to fall below freezing. And because of that, a lot of these places may not be put under any more frost advisories or freeze warnings, depending on what the temperatures actually did out there. But once you get to the south here, it has managed to stay at or above freezing or very close to freezing. So even though we've got frost advisories out, we will probably see more frost advisories or freeze warnings until we get a really true hard freeze yet here later this fall. And that may be at least a week away, if not longer here. We'll see how things go. So there's where we're at right now. It's another chilly morning, but I do expect another nice warm-up. This is very similar to yesterday. The difference is, well, high pressure off to the overhead this morning is going to scoot off to the northeast, and as that happens, we'll pick up on a southeasterly wind right in there, wrapping around that area of high pressure here. And so these winds will get a little bit breezy this afternoon out of that southeasterly direction, 5 to 15 or so miles per hour gusts that might occasionally get over 20 miles per hour. Should be a mainly sunny day. There'll be a few clouds around. Unlike the last 2 days where it's been almost full-blown sunshine, we actually get a couple of clouds today. Tonight, then, more in the way of increasing clouds. This is something that's going to keep temperatures up overnight tonight. That said, a little more clearing to the north and west. Coldest temperatures will be right in here. Warmer the farther southeast you go, and here comes some rain. Now, the bulk of the rain is going to be to our south, Oklahoma, Texas, and parts of Kansas. But northern Kansas and eventually far southern and southeastern Nebraska, a little bit of rain possible tomorrow, wrapping up tomorrow night. Again, just like the overnight lows being colder to the west, the afternoon highs are going to be warmer to the west and northwest, thanks to plenty of sunshine, thicker clouds here. That'll keep temperatures down on Friday. Friday night, the rain wraps up. The clouds actually expand out and cover a large part of the area by Saturday morning. I would not rule out drizzle in spots at least, but low clouds and perhaps some fog. More clearing. Cold here again Saturday morning, but temperatures will be milder under the clouds. And these clouds are going to be kind of stubborn on Saturday unless you live to the west and to the northwest. So high temperatures today. This, for many of us, not for everybody, but for many of us, this will probably be the nicest day that we see the rest of October. And we've still got, if you count the days here, I believe that's 9 days left in the month of October. So things will be trending downward. Not that it's going to get terrible by any means. We're not looking at any major blizzards or anything like that, but we will just see those temperatures kind of drop off in the days ahead. Let's look around the area here at your highs here. We'll start off to the northwest, talking low to mid 60s. About 62 later today in Stapleton, 64 Brewster, 63 in Bassett, 64 in Ord Burwell, and 63 in Broken Bow. We're looking at 62 later today in Hayes Center, 64 in Elwood, 67 degrees in Elma, 67 as well as in Norton, Kansas there, 68 in Smith Center. We'll go 65 in Loop City. Southeastern areas, again, a good amount of sun today, 67 for Lincoln, Crete, Beatrice, 66 in Auburn, 68 degrees in Superior and Belleville, Kansas, 67 in Red Cloud, 65 for Hastings, 66 degrees in St. Paul and in Central City. And finally, northeastern areas, we're talking 63 later today in Pender and Hardington, 65 for Verdigris, Albion 66 in Fullerton, 64 later today in Greeley, 63 in Elmeo and in Bartlett. So again, there's your look at your highs for today. Not as cold tonight. We'll still see some 30s, but not as many places threatening the freezing mark here. But again, with more clearing in here, that's where your coldest temperatures are going to be under the clouds. Milder temperatures to the southeast. Friday's highs, we take a step down, but again, more sunshine to the west and to the north. Still getting up into the 60s. Otherwise, farther southeast, more clouds, upper 50s. I wouldn't even rule out some mid-50s in a few spots, but mostly upper 50s to near 60 degrees right in here. Tomorrow night, a milder night. Again, a lot of clouds around. That'll keep our temperatures in the 40s. Notice the colder 30s out west, clear skies there. Those clouds they're going to hold tough on your Saturday, so it's not going to be the best of weather here. Highs in the mid to upper 50s as you get towards some sunshine out west, getting into the 60s and even some 70s in parts of the Panhandle. Looking at your forecast for Lincoln, Saturday afternoon, in the morning is actually our kickoff for the Husker game. It's an 11 a.m. kickoff between the NUs, the Battle of NU. It's Northwestern and Nebraska. Temperatures will be mostly in the 50s during the game. A lot of clouds around. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Not terribly strong, but a little breeze out there, and it'll make it feel a little cooler with those clouds and with those 50s for temperatures. So not the best of weather, but at the same time, it could be a whole lot worse. Let's look at the lows for Saturday night into Sunday morning. Most of us in the 40s for lows because of those additional clouds still around, and it's going to be a cloudy day Sunday, so that's going to keep our temperatures in the upper 50s and lower 60s for highs. So those temperatures staying on the cooler side of things, and they'll trend downward a little bit as we get into next week here. Let's look at the forecast. Grand Island, Hastings, and Kearney here. A lot of sun today. Enjoy it. The best weather we'll see for a while. We're down into the 50s for highs, but the lows will be warmer thanks to the clouds. Small chance of rain on Friday. I would not rule out some sprinkles or drizzle on Saturday. Small chance of rain on Sunday. Best chance will come on Monday. Tuesday down to a slight chance, depending on which model you look at. Some are trying to linger that rain into Tuesday. Temperatures do kind of trend down a little bit Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll probably keep those temperatures on the cooler side all the way through the end of the month, basically through Halloween. And then there are signs of maybe trending up a little bit as we get into early November. It's still a little questionable. We'll see, and I'll show you why here in just a bit here. Looking at North Platte 7-day forecast, your temperature is kind of a slower drop downward the next couple of days because you'll still see some sun Friday, and then Saturday afternoon you'll get some sunshine, so we're still talking lower 60s. The lows will get warmer though, and again, eventually it's more 50s as we get into next week. There's your chance of rain on Monday. We'll see about Sunday, but Monday right now is kind of the best chance, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, a little cooler, and those nighttime lows start to get a little chillier as well. Looking at the long range, again, staying on the cooler side of things all the way through the end of October, maybe a little bit of a brief early November warm up. The Climate Prediction Center is predicting that heading into early November, we will be above average, which keep in mind, November 1st average high is about 58 or 59, so anything above that, that's considered above average. Moisture-wise, not a lot of moisture down the road. There are a few models hinting at some rain around the 30th or early on the 31st. We'll see. Let's take a look at the European model first. There's your rain mostly to our south on Friday, but a little bit tries to sneak into the Nebraska side of things. That's why it's just a 20% chance for the Tri-Cities. And again, I mentioned those minimal chances of rain over the weekend. It's not much. Better chances on Monday. And then Tuesday, we're just looking at a small chance of rain. The trend pretty quiet though through the rest of the week here, but again, there's that, I mentioned that Thursday into Friday morning chance of rain. This is taking us into Halloween daytime. May get a system that'll keep us from warming up much, but then maybe getting a ridge that starts to build in beyond that, we'll see. That's a big question right now. The GFS and the European do not agree, and I'll show you that in just a bit. Let's look at the GFS model. Here comes that rain tonight into tomorrow. Notice the bulk of the showers to our south, but this could brush by far southern and southeastern areas with a little bit of light rain. The chances of rain are lower, but a lot of clouds on Saturday. Maybe some rain in the southeast. Sunday, small chance of rain, but then a better chance on Monday. The GFS does try to linger a little bit into Tuesday here, which is why I kept a 20% chance going, but that's still a bit uncertain. Wednesday, Thursday looked mostly dry here, and the GFS and the European differ. The GFS doesn't have any moisture going into Halloween morning like the European did. And it also tries to warm things up then as we go into next weekend, the first weekend of November. Looking at that long range temperature trend, here's the European model. Again, just kind of a slow drop in temperatures, but notice the European model does not warm us up into early November right there. Keeps all the warm air to our west. The GFS model is different, and it's the one the Climate Prediction Center is going with right now. We get that bit of a cool down late next week, maybe, but then it tries to warm us up for Halloween into the days after, into early November here, which is where the Climate Prediction Center is predicting right now. So Will we warm up or will we stay chilly into early November? That's still a bit of a question. Well, I want to thank you all for watching on this Thursday morning. I'll be back with you one last time this week on Friday with all of the latest. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the sunshine. We won't have a lot of sun these next couple of days in many locations. So enjoy it today. I'll talk to you all again on Friday. Take care and God bless. Bye.